Very strong storms moving into western and northern Nebraska yesterday. There was kind of this isolated cell that formed and moved toward Ainsworth last night that it managed to produce a couple tornado reports. In fact, a confirmed tornado on the ground at one point last night, with these reports coming around 5:30 and 5:45 last night. Some hail associated with this storm too, an inch to an inch and a half reported through Brown County, and then some wind gusts after that were reported around 60, maybe even a little bit higher than that in terms of the wind, the hail, the tornadoes. These storms were threatening just about everything, including this storm I was watching come out of Colorado and Wyoming and into portions of into western portions of Scottsbluff County. In fact, just had a woman reach out to me and tell me that as she was taking cover last night, one of the top 5 scariest moments of her life as she was trying to take cover and a roof 150 feet from her was torn off. So there were some very strong winds associated with this storm. In fact, over 80 and 90 mile per hour winds were observed, and there was even a broadcast tower around 300 feet tall that collapsed too. Not to mention this storm at some points was warmed for baseball to softball size hail. So some very strong storms yesterday. Unfortunately, those similar areas are going to have to stay weather aware later today as another round of severe weather is in the forecast for them. We'll talk about that here coming up. Luckily, here at home, we are much quieter and thankful for that. This has been quite the severe weather season and showing no signs of quit, but over southeast Nebraska, I think we stay fairly quiet through the end of this week. North 48th and Cornhusker Highway, a beautiful look at the sunrise as there are some clouds in the distance. A warm start to the day too, with us mostly in the lower 70s, but you'll notice kind of the difference in the temperatures running from northeast Nebraska down to the south and west. There is a stall boundary at this point that is going to promote some thunderstorms on the backside of it, and you see the cooler air for now, but still a lot of moisture in place. Winds fairly light this morning and kind of variable in direction, but that boundary even allowing for some isolated thunderstorms even early this morning, north and now almost north and east of North Platte. Today for us here at home, fairly quiet, humid, warm. Temperature is going to be right around 93 degrees for a high. Breezy too. Some of those south and southwest gusts, maybe gusting around 30 to 35 miles per hour. But I want to tell you about these similar areas that saw it yesterday. We'll be watching for some of the isolated activity through the morning, but the stronger round of storms will come later in the day today, this late afternoon and evening, and more scattered in nature, which would lend me to believe that some hail, possibly an isolated tornado threat, and some damaging wind gusts certainly going to be possible, especially in and around Cherry County and Valentine, out towards portions of Custer County too, and around Broken Bow. With all this tracking north and east, maybe providing a little bit of an isolated flood risk for those in northeast Nebraska too, with these repeat rounds of rain. But for that reason, a slight level 2 out of 5 risk over that same area that really had a similar risk yesterday. So we'll want you to be weather prepared, and we'll of course watch it as we go and see that develop later on this evening. Just a small chance for us to see anything at home on Saturday. That same stall boundary I was talking about is going to drop south and east for the day tomorrow, maybe sparking a few isolated thunderstorms nearby. I don't think they get strong until they push past Lincoln into far southeast Nebraska, and then we're really looking at a warm up early next week.
98 on Monday. That's going to be
yeah,
man.
They're talking heat indices that could be 100 to 110, so it wouldn't shock me if we see a heat advisory for at least Monday.
Oh my goodness. All right, thank you very much, Jessica.